Namaste, welcome back to Siddharpagna channel, and you are watching AWS Cloud projects for beginner to expert, and we are in the expert level right now. We just finished our first SageMaker project. I mean, that was the last project. Anyways, so in today's video, we are going to do our 82nd project, and this is good. In the last project, it was an introduction to SageMaker and machine learning, etc. So in this project, it is going to be introduction to generative AI. So generative AI is something like ChatGPT, or if you already watched our previous videos, Code Whisperer. That is an example of a generative AI. I don't know if it is going to be Code Whisperer in this as well, but well, the project is called Introduction to Generative AI. So let's go ahead and find out what this is about. So let's click on that person. Hello, I work at the city's media company and I have been tasked with investigating our use of generative AI. I see the potential in enhancing content creation and driving growth, but honestly, I am not sure where to start. Can you help me? Wow, there are 17. Makes sense. It's introduction, still 17. Of course, I'm happy to help. AWS provides a variety of services that work well with generative AI. To start, do you have foundational model ready for deployment? I'm afraid I don't. I'm new to this whole area and I'm not even sure what a foundational model is. I'm in the same shoes. No problem at all. A foundational model is a pre-trained model that can be used as a basis for your AI application. It's been trained on a large collection of data which can be further fine-tuned to fit your specific needs. Think of it as a stepping stone towards building your AI solution. Oh, I see. That sounds really useful, but how do I go about deploying such a model? Great question. You can use SageMaker to deploy your foundational model as a hosted inference. SageMaker is robust and scalable, so it provides reliable model deployment. Sounds good, but how would my application interact with this deployed model? That's where Lambda comes in. This is similar to what we did in the last project. You can use Lambda to create functions that interact with the inference hosted by SageMaker. Lambda is serverless, so it scales automatically and you pay for only the compute time that you consume. Fantastic. What about testing the deployed model? How do I do that? You can use a sample application to test the deployed model. After any changes or updates, this step can be repeated to ensure that the new model functions as expected. And where do I host this sample application? The sample application can be hosted in S3 bucket. Additionally, CloudFront can be used as content delivery network for the application, enhancing speed and performance. That's cool, but what if I want to change or update the model later? Changing the model is also quite straightforward. You can deploy the new model on a SageMaker endpoint. You can also use the capabilities of SageMaker Studio, a comprehensive machine learning integrated development environment, to effectively manage the model development and deployment process. It's great to know that AWS has such a comprehensive solution for generative AI. I feel more confidence about giving it a try now. Thank you. You're welcome. Remember, AWS is a modular and scalable. You can start small, learn along the way, and scale as your needs grow. If you need any more help, feel free to ask. Could you guide us through the procedure of deploying a foundational model? Of course, I do. Okay. Here we are going to deploy a model on a SageMaker endpoint, use invoke, review, and test that. Oh, this is going to be similar to what we learned in the last project, I guess. Here we are, video concepts, cloud formation, S3 API gateway, Lambda, generative AI overview. I think that is something new. So whether it is new or not, that is new for me, but for you, I don't know. So I would recommend you to watch all the videos. If you haven't watched them yet, you can watch it again to review. It doesn't hurt. These videos are available in the playlist that will pop up here. Click on it. It will take you to AWS tutorials for beginners. Then search with this title in that playlist and watch all of them and come back to the project. Let's look at the steps involved in this particular project. In this solution, a large language model, LLM. Okay, so now I know what LLM means. Large language model. It is hosted on Amazon SageMaker. The intuitive features and robust infrastructure of SageMaker can be used to deploy sophisticated AI models such as this. Users of all skill levels too can efficiently manage and operate their LLMs, large language models, making the whole process straightforward and user-friendly. SageMaker Studio, a unified machine learning IDE, is used to streamline the model's development, all from one central location. SageMaker Studio Notebook is used to deploy the foundational model as a hosted inference on the SageMaker endpoint. This process uses the robust and scalable SageMaker infrastructure to ensure a reliable model deployment. Lambda functions are used to interact with SageMaker hosted inference. Sample application is used to test the deployed model. This step validates the functionality and responsiveness of the model post-deployment. The sample application is hosted in S3 bucket. This ensures that the application is securely stored and readily accessible. Amazon CloudFront is used as the content delivery network for the application, enhancing speed and performance. Application invokes API gateway, which in turn invokes the Lambda function, providing a smooth, scalable, and efficient workflow. To change the large language model, I remember it. The new model can quickly be deployed on the SageMaker endpoint. After deployment of the new model, the Lambda code is updated to interface with the new SageMaker endpoint. A sample application is used to test the deployment model. This step verifies the successful integration performance of the new model. Some steps are similar to the last project. I mean, that's good because the more you do, the better we get at it. So let's look at the practice lab goals. We will use Amazon SageMaker to deploy a foundation model as a hosted inference. We'll update the Lambda code to use SageMaker inference. Use a sample application to test the deployment model. Then, as part of DIY, deploy the Hugging Face model in the SageMaker endpoint. Then we'll update the Lambda code, use the new SageMaker endpoint. Then we'll use sample application to test the new model. Awesome. I'm excited about it. Let's start the lab. And there are no files. I think those files are all hosted in S3. And I think this is going to take some time because remember the last video? We started the SageMaker Studio. We started a couple of other services. I'm assuming they will give all those as part of the lab. So we don't have to do all that. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's see what they want us to do in the practice. We will open the SageMaker. Of course, we are going to open that. And okay, where are we? Foundation models, Amazon SageMaker foundation models. Amazon SageMaker Jumpstart offers state-of-the-art foundation models for use cases such as content writing, code generation, question answering, copywriting, summarization, classification, information retrieval, and more. Use SageMaker Jumpstart foundation models to build your own generative AI solutions and integrate custom solutions with additional SageMaker features. So there is something called Jumpstart foundational models. Okay, we can review things that are available here. Cool. Now let's go to the studio and select user profile. Again, they are already creating it here. That's why it is taking time. Once it is ready, we'll click that and open studio. Now in the left panel, we'll go to the Jumpstart and Jumpstart page. We can directly deploy foundation models from the SageMaker Jumpstart page. Or Meta. This is, I think, Facebook's. For the purpose of this practice lab, we have created sample notebook for you. Okay, they already created one for us. Good. A foundation model is a large pre-trained model. Remember in the last project, we trained a model, but these are already pre-trained. That is adaptable to many downstream tasks and often serves as the starting point for developing more specialized models. Okay, so this is already should be running for us because if this is taking this long, this should be running for us. Studio Classic opens in a new browser similar to the last time, and terminal as usual, and then we are going to execute AWS S3 ls similar to the last one. Ls lists the local, but AWS S3 ls lists the S3 bucket. S3 S3 it is going to show us all the buckets that we have permission for, and then we are going to run AWS S3 sync. What sync does is it will copy everything in a particular buckets folder to whichever target you are going to give, which is dot means it is going to copy all the files from that particular bucket to here. Okay, that is what we are doing here, nothing fancy. Once you do that, they already have the Python notebook here. Previous project they asked us to upload it. Here now they already have it. And SageMaker Studio notebooks are collaborative notebooks that you can use to launch quickly because you don't need to set up compute instances and file storage beforehand. A set of instance types known as fast launch types are designed to launch in under 2 minutes. SageMaker Studio notebooks provide persistent storage so you can view and share notebooks even if the instances that the notebook runs are shut down. Cool. Looks like they already created even this for us. So makes sense why it is still in starting phase. Oh, it is not. Okay. Again, data science 3, Python, and leave the remaining as default. Select it. It will take some time for it to be up. And now this is the our notebook. Generative AI is a type of AI that can create new content and ideas, including conversations, stories, images, videos, and music. Generative AI is powered by large models, commonly referred to as foundation models that are pre-trained, which is what they are explaining here. Okay, now we are going to execute. You remember the dollars, sorry, exclamation when you give that, it is going to execute it on the Linux operating system. I hope that in a Jupyter notebook to run code in a cell, okay, they are already there. We already know what to do. No need to explain. Once we execute that, the next second step, define the model. I guess we can go through these steps. Using SageMaker, we can deploy machine learning models to make predictions, also known as inference. SageMaker provides a broad selection of machine learning infrastructure and model deployment options to help meet all your machine learning inference needs. So, machine model ID and then the model version, all versions, we are running it. Run that. This code invokes the deploy method to create a SageMaker endpoint. I think this one they are talking about. Remember, we already did something like this previously. The model ID it will get from above. Instance type is 2x large, it's the bigger one, I guess. And then we are deploying. We are running both in the same cell. And I guess this does it. I think it should take some time, right? Okay, an exclamation here indicates the completion of the endpoint deployment. Okay. Oh, it was fast, like 2 seconds. Then we will review this and then we will execute this one. So pretty much everything in the notebook, I guess, self-explanatory. The code uses prompt as a payload with different parameters, invokes the SageMaker endpoint with the payloads, as then prints this response. This code creates a function to query the SageMaker endpoints. You can see def, that function name, and it takes payload as the input and runs those. And the code sends the payload to the SageMaker endpoint using its sentence completion capability. The endpoint returns the complete sentence. Input, building a website can be done in 10 simple steps. Output, choose a domain name. Oh, it is automatically doing it for us. Huh? Okay, that is the machine learning, the model doing it. The model generates text until it completes the sentence, either by reaching a predefined length encountering a stopping criteria like a period or question mark or some other termination condition. That okay, this is another payload. Sends using its translation cable to the endpoint, responses the incomplete sentence and returns. Okay, let's say what is this? Inputs translate English to French, which is what it is doing. Awesome. I don't know French, so I cannot comment. And this is another payload. I hate it when my phone battery dies. Sentiment negative. Okay, so it is going to figure out what kind of sentiment it is, huh? Okay. Input is this, output is positive. I had negative, sentiment negative. My day has been positive. Tweet, my day has been okay. This is the link to the article, neutral. This new music video was incredible. Nothing. So once you run it, output is positive. Sentiment analysis is the process of analyzing digital text to determine if the emotional tone of the message is positive, negative, or neutral. As you can see, this is the sentiment analysis test. Question answering test. We give you a question. Could you remind me when was the C programming language invented? And it is going to automatically give us that one. And then the test recipe generation. And it is going to, I guess, test summarization. There are plenty of test cases that they have it. Okay, cool, cool. I think those are all the ones. Then we go to SageMaker, then we scroll down, we click on endpoints, and we already learned about this. Click the endpoint, copy it because we have to run it from the Lambda, and then we are going to Lambda endpoint test function. And as you can already see, this Lambda is getting triggered by the API gateway. Go to configuration, paste the endpoint, maybe change the timeout as well. It's just 3 seconds to 1. Yes, cool. We know why we changed that. Go to environment variables, edit it, copy paste your endpoint. Lambda function review it, review everything. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. When did I stop this? I've been recording. I paused my video and I've been recording. I don't know when I stopped this one. Okay, that is not good. Let me 17 minutes is how far we went inside. I don't remember when I paused this. I think I might have paused it in the beginning, which is not good, which is not good at all. Okay, let me stop it here and re-record it. I need to see where I stopped. Okay, good news. We don't have to do all this because the recording got stopped at this point in time. Okay, so we are good. Um, you wouldn't be, but my recording somehow I mistakenly clicked on the pause button. Anyway, so we are here. Let's click on that bucket. We have the index file, and then this is the CloudFront distribution. Click on it, copy the distribution name because this is the URL. When we hit it, it will open the application. So you can see it, right? We are going to copy paste the API gateway URL here, and then this is our input. Payload is going to be. We have seen multiple payloads, right? You can pick any payload and paste it here, and then you click generate. So what is going to happen behind the scenes is this particular CloudFront, the index.xml you have seen, right? On S3, it is hosted as a static website. Okay, and then the CloudFront is going to trigger the API gateway URL you have seen here. Okay, and the API gateway is going to trigger the Lambda and send this as the input to the Lambda. The Lambda is going to trigger the SageMaker, the model that was created with the input as the payload, and then it will give the output. Okay, so we are going to the gateway API endpoint and copy paste it. Then that's the question. Then it will list the all the output and etc. So that is interesting. That is good. And what is the difference between previous project and this? In the previous project, we have used our own model. Here we are going to use a foundational model. That is one difference. And in the last model, we didn't integrate in the Lambda. We just ran the Lambda, but here we are going to integrate the Lambda with Cloud Front and API Gateway, and it's a complete solution, right? So let's go ahead and implement this. I hope we'll finish this faster this time because pretty much all the services are already running. So we don't need much. At least that's what I think. We never know. Sign up for single user setup. No, I'm not going to do all that. Studio. Last time we created it. This time they already created it for us. Let's open that. Awesome, right? We don't have to sit here for 15 or so minutes trying to create that. And click on this, and this should already be running. Another, we don't have to wait for it. Awesome. Click open. It is going to take us to the SageMaker Classic Studio. I mean, whenever that does. And that is the Jupyter Notebook symbol that just got opened or not opened yet. It is going to open it. Okay, so here we are. Amazon SageMaker Studio Classic. As usual, we are going to file, new, terminal. All right, let's clear it by Control L, or you can type clear as well, doesn't matter. And we can go to SageMaker, not here actually. Let me go back to here. If you go to foundational models, Jumpstart foundational models, you can see and search through all of them. Have a different foundational models prepared by different companies, not people. You know, I think Falcon, you can see text generation, text to image, text to text, bunch of them. Alexa, you can see that here. Anyways, let's go back. Not here. Let's go here. Okay, what are we doing? We are trying to see the buckets that are available for us, which you can see all here. Now let's copy this lab code because we are copying everything in the lab code bucket into this particular directory. So let's paste it, allow it, enter, enter. So it downloaded it. What did it download? It downloaded the notebook. And if you click here, you can see the notebook right here. So as usual, let's click open it, and data science, Python, everything as usual, select it. It will be starting. You can see here idle. Wow, that was pretty fast, faster than the last time. I don't know how that happened. That's okay. Generative AI is a type of AI that can create new content and ideas, including conversation, stories, images, videos, and music. Like all artificial intelligence, generative AI is powered by machine learning models. Very large models that are pre-trained on vast amounts of data and commonly referred to as foundation models. Apart from content creation, generative AI is also used to improve the quality of digital images, edit video, build prototypes quickly for manufacturing, augment data with synthetic datasets, and more. Using the Falcon model. In this demo notebook, we demonstrate how to use the SageMaker Python SDK to deploy Falcon models for next text generation. It is a permissively licensed open source model trained on the redefined web datasets. We show several example use cases including code generation, question answering, translation, etc. And this is similar to what? ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT does the same thing. And remember the free version of ChatGPT, even they trained their model, and their models were trained in back in 2022. After that, they didn't train it. Falcon is a casual decoder only model. At least whenever I ask it um, Amazon related questions, it says that it got lost train in 2022. So I don't know about other content. Maybe the non-paid version is up to date trend, I am assuming. Falcon is a casual decoder only model built by Technology Innovation Institute and trained on more than 1 trillion tokens of refined web enhanced with curated corpora. Okay, you guys can read it. I'm not going to read it. What we are interested in is this one. So upgrade SageMaker. So let's click that and run this. It is going to install SageMaker, quite upgrade, force reinstall. For them it took a couple of seconds. It is taking forever for us. That's fine. I mean, there should be a command that executes all commands in this, but maybe they don't have it here. I don't know. In the normal, it is running in the normal Jupyter notebook. You can actually run all the cells. I don't know. Maybe that is missing. That's fine. Let's see how this is going to take. How long this is going to take. Okay, I will give it some time and I will be back. Or maybe not. It finished it. And let's run this one. Define the model, defining the Hugging Face LLM, large language model, Falcon 7B construct model. All we are doing is setting up the parameters, creating these two parameters and giving it those values. Now let's deploy the model in SageMaker inference endpoint. So we have to create the inference endpoint and then we have to deploy the model, right? Where is it getting model ID? From here above. This is going to create us the inference endpoint. Okay, for them it showed it took like 2 seconds. For us, I don't know how long it is going to take. Let it run. Let's read this one. The model supports a variety of actions like code generation, sentiment analysis, question answering, summarization, something like ChatGPT. Even ChatGPT can do this. So we are going to run through different examples. Some of the supported parameters while performing inference are the following. Okay, you can take a look at it and read it, pause the video and read it. Okay, it's still running. Okay, let's go down and the test endpoint. Remember, even just like the last time, prompt tell me about Amazon SageMaker. Okay, payload is input is prompt, parameters as they mentioned, right? You can give these parameters. Do sample true. Let's see what that does. If true, sample the next word as per the likelihood is specified. It must be Boolean. And top p.9, in each step of text generation, sample from the smallest possible set, etc. You understand all that. Stop based on a set particular condition, which end of text. That's still running. So if you run this, then you will get the response from the predictor, as you can see, which is nothing but our deployed model. Well, this is taking forever. For them it took 2 seconds. Where is this? Okay, and the response we are storing in this variable and we are printing the first element in the response. Maybe that's a JSON string, and from it we are taking the generated text. That is the output. So let's go back. Let's give it some time. I will be back once this is done. All right, finally it's done. I don't know why it took 8.5 minutes. Or maybe it's because G5 2x large, whatever. Okay, now let's go ahead and run our test endpoint to say this one. Tell me about Amazon SageMaker. So it should give us or tell us about Amazon SageMaker. It is a cloud-based machine, XYZ. Then test use cases. So what are we doing here? Query endpoint and print the response. And we are printing this and that. Let's see how it is going to give us. This is a function, by the way. Okay, so that's just the function. It ran successfully, but whenever somebody triggers that function, for example, from here, we are triggering that function and the payload we are giving is write a program to compute factorial in Python. So it is going to take that payload here and it's going to send that. And this is just a formatting of how we are printing the response. So if I run it, it will give you the factorial calculations code. Okay, so input output nicely. It wrote the code for us. And then we have test sentence completion. Building a website can be done in 10 simple steps and it didn't finish it. And then when you run it, the foundational model is going to, or the AI is going to print us the steps, similar to ChatGPT again. Test translation. So inputs, they want us to translate English to French. which is it doing? So cheese, it didn't give it, so our model should print it, which is fromage. I guess I don't know how I said it, but test sentiment analysis. Again, we already know this. Positive, negative. And then test question answering. Could you remind me? We already asked the first question. It's like question answering, input, output. Test recipe generation. Okay. Okay. How about lemon? Okay, it did that. How about this? What is the recipe for Hyderabad biryani? Let's see if it works. Rice-based dish that is typically made with the ingredients include what happened to the steps? You are not going to give. Anyways, it did give this three lines, but we all know making that biryani is a complicated process, at least for me. But it at least gave you something. I don't think we can make biryani using these instructions. Uh, Test summarization. Run this. And it is going to summarize this text and return it. Anyways, those are some examples that they gave us. That is fine. Now let's go back to our Lambda functions. That is the major one. Before doing that, let's click on this one. Sorry, home. Go to deployments, endpoints, and let's copy this one. That's the endpoint name. Let's go to Lambda. And what are we going to use? We are going to endpoint test function. And as we have seen previously, API gateway is going to trigger this. So let's go to configuration, edit it. Let's change this to 1 minute. Save. And also environment variable. Endpoint, replace this. Save it. Close it. Now let's go ahead and open the API endpoint. Or before doing that, let's go ahead and open the CloudFront. And actually, let's see the S3 first of all, because we have the bucket. Let's make sure that file is actually there. I think it is Generative AI Lab. Index.html is there. And if I go to properties, you can see this is disabled because we are going to use CloudFront to host this website. And if I scroll to public, where do we see the public one? Maybe permissions. Yeah, block all public access on. We are not enabling it because if you have CloudFront, you don't have to enable. We have done one project for that, so you can go ahead and check that out. Let's go to CloudFront. And this is the distribution that is already created. And if you see the origins, it will point to, that's the name, S3. It will point to S3. And if I click on that, edit it. Okay, that is the uh, origin domain, because that is the bucket, right? And then legacy access, we don't want to go into all this. So let's cancel this one. Okay, now you have that S3 pointing to that bucket. Mostly that index dot somewhere they will mention it, or maybe it will automatically pick that one. Okay, let's go to general. Yeah, here default root object, it is mentioned here. You see that. Anyways, okay. Now what are we interested in? We are interested in this one. So if I go here and if I hit play that one, you can see it opened, but I need this API gateway URL. So let me go to API gateway. You already have that available. If you click on post, you can see it is integration request, which is a Lambda integration. And if you click on this one, it is going to point endpoint test function is going to be triggered. Okay, now let's go to stages, prod slash summarize post, and you will have this URL. Copy it and paste it here. Okay, now the prompt is, I guess, what is the prompt? They typed something, right? You can write any prompt, it doesn't matter, I guess. How about give me top 10 resources to learn ML AI. Let's see how it is going to generate that. Okay, there are many resources available to learn. Here are some top 10. Andrew NG's machine learning course on Coursera, Kaggle, TensorFlow, PyTorch, yada yada yada. But it is working, which means whatever we did is working. I mean, we didn't do not much, but anyways, that's about it. Let's go ahead and finish our DIY. It's already late for me. I'm sleepy. Let's deploy the Hugging Face model in the SageMaker endpoint. Didn't we do the same thing? No? Okay, that's fine. Let's copy this. Can I copy this? Maybe not. So let me go here and jumpstart Hugging Face views 70 models. What did they say? Hugging Face LLM Falcon 7B BF16. 7B. Oh, even that there are 7. Yeah, I think it is this one, right? Give me a name. Yeah, somewhere here. What I'm looking for is the name. I can print that name, but I mean, I cannot copy paste that name. I, uh, I am just seeing if they have this. I can just copy paste from here. How about if I want to deploy? What will it do? Okay, it is using this name, Hugging Face LLM model. Oh, I can deploy it from here as well. Interesting. I don't want to do it from here. Okay, let's go back to here. Isn't this the same? They deployed. Why do they want me to deploy it again? Huh? That's weird. Hugging Face, LLM, Falcon 7B, Falcon 7B. Okay, what is the difference about this? Yeah, it's already deployed. I don't even have to deploy it. Update the Lambda code to use a new SageMaker endpoint. Oh, they wanted to be new one. Use the sample application to test the new model. See, okay, let's go to Lambda. I think even if I don't spin the new one, I guess if I use the old one, I guess it will work. Let me try that. But what is the point? They want me to use the same one and redeploy it. Let's see what will this do if I give it. Will it complain it's not a new one? Huh. HFLLM Falcon 7B. So because it has an instruct, that is the difference. Interesting. So let me go back. I mean, it's a small change. It's not a big thing, but I just wanted to avoid it because it took forever for this to be created. That's why I don't want to do that again. All right, 9 minutes. I wanted some sleep. So let's click on this. Okay, I will be back in a minute. See, we are not running the instruct. Instead, we are running this one. Let's see. All right, since they didn't tell us what kind of config they want, I use the same thing, and it didn't take 8 minutes. It took only 5.5 minutes. Um, I think I'm not going to run all the samples, but what we should be doing, we should go to endpoints, refresh. I think copy this, go here, endpoint test function, update the configuration here to this one, save it. Now let's go here. Now let's give them this one and it should show green now. If it doesn't, then I will just exit it. I'm just kidding. All right, it's all good news and awesome. Finally. Okay, what do you guys think about this project? Did you guys like it? Didn't like it? Let me know in the comments. Thanks. It was such a breeze to deploy the foundation on AWS. This is really good news. Okay, I will pick this one. Okay, I enjoyed it. Now, if you want to, deploy some AI using foundational model, you know what to do, you know how to do it now. You don't have to create a model. If a model is already there, I don't know if it costs money for them or not, but if a model is already there, why reinvent the wheel, right? There are big companies who are putting everything into them, preparing those models. So obviously, it's better to use them instead of us writing it, 1 or 2 person sitting there and writing it. So that's about that, and it's not done yet. As you already know, this is the most exciting part for me, which is doing the quiz and checking who got the score, who got more score, you or me. What does Code Whisperer do? Pause it, answer it, then I will answer it, then we can check back. It generates real-time code suggestions. Okay, it's an AI, generative AI. Code Whisperer is a generative AI. So Code Whisperer may be using some foundational models. What is the purpose of Amazon Bedrock? Huh. Actually, I know Minecraft Bedrock, but Amazon Bedrock, I don't know. Um, I don't know, seriously. I know Minecraft Bedrock. Serve as a machine learning hub, provide machine learning infrastructure for foundation models, Bedrock. I think it has something to do with foundation, so maybe this one. I'll go with that. Yes. Wow. So they named it appropriately. All right, 2-0. 2-0. I don't know what you answered for that, but I answered it correctly. Which AWS offering serves as a machine learning hub? Definitely not that. It's definitely not this. Jumpstart? Trianium. These names I never heard, man. I mean, makes sense because I'm not a machine learning person, machine learning developer. So this is not an offering. I'm assuming Trianium. I don't know what that is, but I'll just go with it. Oh no, Amazon Jumpstart. Okay. 2-1. Okay, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. I would have picked that. Trianium, is that even a service? Let me know in the comments. 2-1, 2-1. Maybe you guys are 3-0. I don't know. What does generative AI primarily do? Create various types of content such as image, music, and stories, perform sentiment. Pretty much it does all those, but I will just go with that. 3-1. The last question. Which chips were developed by AWS to be cost-efficient options for machine learning tasks? Oh, they did that? No idea. Uh, Open Llama and Red Pajama, Inferentia, AWS Trainium. No idea, seriously. If I have to guess, they asked this one previously. Obviously, it won't be Open Llama. Maybe this is like open source related. Maybe not that. I will just pick this one. Oh yes, high performance machine learning training accelerator purpose. All right, 4-1. Let me know what you all got and also put my score in it so that I know that how much I scored in this one by the time I upload this video. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Don't forget to comment and like. That is very important. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. See you in the next video. Peace out.